Welcome to North Star Credit Union's Financial Compass podcast, guiding you towards financial wellness, hometown values, lifelong relationships, worldwide access. We say some crazy things.
Yeah, we do.
Sorry.
So what is it again?
It's a Vibraslap.
A Vibraslap.
Yeah, not what you're thinking.
And you like yeah. You have to learn to play this? Like, do you have to learn?
Well, heck no. You see it. Well, okay. When I first got it, I was like, how does this work?
Yeah.
But yes.
So gosh.
like if you're listening to different songs, like I'm pretty sure it's in like Oyo Como Va and a few other songs you're listening, and it's even in some Guns N' Roses songs I noticed when I was listening. Now that I know what it sounds like, I'm like, what the heck? But yeah, all of a sudden you hear, and it's like, oh. Cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what songs or how you would use this in a song.
Well, who does it in the band? Just do you have a person that
Jessie does.
So like the
drummer? I do.
Yeah.
I do it in our band, but it's a percussion instrument. So like I'm sure that when it's on a recording of a song, you hear it's studio. You know what I mean? Like so the drummer's laying down his drum track, and then then they do another take, and he's hitting the Vibraslap, and then they do another take, and he's doing the tambourine. You know what I mean? Like.
You're like,
yeah.
Like, Jessie, it'd be great right here. Vibraslap.
When I move, I'll put it in.
Okay. This song needs Vibraslap.
It needs
like a cowbell.
It would make it needs more Vibraslap.
Yeah. And this is not an instrument.
We need more Vibraslap, I think.
Yeah.
This is part of my microphone.
Next week, I'll bring in the cowbell.
It's funny, after our conversation last week, we talked about singer, Vibraslap, backup singer, former backup singer. So Joe, this week, Joe's the kid in our house, my girlfriend's son. He has a saxophone.
Oh, nice.
So he's been playing. So and he was like, Drew, want to try it? And I did. It probably has been like 20 years since I've picked up a saxophone. So I played it a little bit, and I tried to remember. One of the songs I used to love and always used to play was Kenny G's "Forever in Love." Do you know it?
Yeah, who doesn't know Kenny G?
Okay. I didn't know if that was like a comment, but like I tried to remember how some of the notes and find the keys, and it was a struggle. But I maybe hit a couple, and anyway. So it was just sort of a trip down memory lane, picking up the old alto sax and trying to play some Kenny G.
Pretty soon our podcast is going to be like, here's the musical instrument of the week. And then we'll get into the financial.
We might have some financial content, folks. I'm not sure.
Hey, what's in your cup today, Drew?
Yeah, this is coffee.
Oh, no Alka-Seltzer?
Not today. We're feeling tip-top.
Okay. A little bit of Bailey's.
But funny, both really are to help you feel better, right? Coffee, Alka-Seltzer.
Yeah. This, honestly, I used to think that I couldn't get through the day without coffee, or no, that I could get through the day without coffee. And now I find that literally I know it's wrong, but I have to have at least minimum 2 cups. Sometimes I go 3.
I was reading this.
No,
I don't drink caffeine, and I was reading a story this morning about a girl who ate these chocolates and her heart was racing, and it turned out it had 420, I think it's milligrams of caffeine in it, and she didn't drink coffee.
Oh my goodness.
So I used to have coworkers that would bring me coffee beans and tell me they were chocolate just to see me with star bones.
Can I ask, do you not drink caffeine because of what it would do to you? Well, you have coffee. I feel like you've gotten on our staff meetings before, and you're like, I've had too much coffee today.
Well, I say,
she said she had too much coffee.
Too much coffee.
Every once in a while, when I have caffeine, it's So I don't have caffeine. That's who I am without caffeine. I'm a little bouncy.
I wish I didn't drink caffeine as much as I do, but I just do enjoy it.
Yeah, what do you...
Someone described it I feel like it assembles, I'm assembled in a way, when I drink coffee. And I don't know, it seems kind of maybe silly, but that's kind of how I feel. It sort of puts me together, and I'm ready, now I'm ready. It's just weird what it does.
Yeah, it wakes you up, and it's kind of eye-opening, not just the caffeine, but how if you don't have it for a while, you'll get a headache and you're
Yeah. I'm like that when I'm hangry. I'm hungry. Yeah, honey, I need
So
therapy.
for our listeners, not our viewers, Melissa's the one that doesn't drink a lot of caffeine and will go crazy when she does. I'm the one that's like got to have at least 2 cups. And Drew, as you know, is Drew, and he's got to have his coffee because it puts him together.
Yes, two cups a day is probably like my average. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same. I think it's
But
a good
pretty
number.
much like every morning is a regular thing, and then it's like a maybe afternoon cup.
So maybe I would feel put together if this is the solution. Maybe I'll try it.
I was gonna, yeah.
I'm looking for some way to piece myself together, like I'm a puzzle, and I can.
We have the answer.
Yeah.
Alka seltzer if you don't feel good.
Yeah.
Coffee when you need to be put together.
So I love the smell of coffee, though. It reminds me of my childhood. Like a brewing cup of coffee smelled so good, and then my dad would smell like stale coffee. But no, it really does remind me of childhood, and I love to smell the aroma of it. It's nostalgic for me, and so I love it. And every once in a while, I do treat myself to a cup of mocha. Mocha. Yeah.
How many of us like smelled coffee and thought, "Oh, that's amazing," and saw our parents drinking it all the time, and we're like, "I want to try that." And you have a cup of coffee as like a teenager, and you're like, "Disgusting."
Yeah.
Did your parents say? Did your parents say it would like put hair on your back? Or
Yes,
something?
yeah. It'll put hair on your chest, is what I was
Oh,
told.
is that what it was? So you wouldn't drink it?
Yeah.
Oh.
And
Yeah,
coffee-
no, definitely a surprise. The aroma and the smell is one thing, and then when you first take a sip as a kid, you're disappointed.
yeah. You're like sugar.
Yeah. Can we make this not taste like that?
Yeah. I'm gonna have a little bit of coffee with my sugar and cream.
Well, all right. How about let's get rolling for today. Welcome back to another Financial Friday here, the North Star Credit Union Podcast, your financial compass. I'm Drew with Jessie and Melissa. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good to be back. Good to have our listeners with us again today. This is our 3rd episode now. I feel like these are going to start stacking up, and all of a sudden we're going to be at number 10, and we're not even going to know what happened. But I think we're at number 3, if my math is checking out here. But how are you today, ladies?
Good. I'm good.
Good.
Coffeeed up, ready to roll.
I got dressed in the dark today.
Yeah, you had no power this morning?
No, but
Really?
I did my eye makeup in the car, so I'm feeling okay.
Phenomenal job.
These girls are all natural.
My friend Tanya used to literally, I'd pick her up to go to school, high school in the morning, and she would roll out of bed, and whatever her feet touched, she said she would grab and put on, and like, she never wanted to get up in the morning. She was not a morning person.
Oh,
but anyway,
yeah.
that's but dressing in the dark, I'm sure she did that. She's a pro.
So if she was with her feet, so were her stuff on the
Yeah, I was a little
floor?
confused by that too. What her?
Oh, all of her clothes. I'm sorry. Let me elaborate. All of the clothes on her floor, she would just,
Just assemble in some way,
just
whatever.
throw, clean clothes on the floor, dirty clothes on the floor, whatever.
Yeah.
It sounds like a hashtag mom life over here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Mornings can be
have
like
a-
that.
You could have a hamper full of dirty clothes, and then you can walk into the bathroom, and then they're all over the floor. And you're like, surprise!
Surprise!
And your daughter's running around wearing a dirty pair of pants inside out. Happened yesterday.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
Yeah. On my way to work this morning, I looked over there in the other lane, and I'm like, what is that? I saw something in the lane, and it was a life jacket. And it made me think, like, I need to start a side hustle where I just go around and collect everything that flies out of boats, Minnesota lakes. I feel like, I don't know, people think like, yeah, this life jacket will just stay in the boat. No, there's 0% chance that's staying in the boat. It's ending up on the highway. I think I need to start collecting these things and selling them online.
That reminds me of when my sister and I helped our friend move, and we were in charge of driving like some plants and different things from up north, from Hibbing to Duluth, which is about a 75-mile drive. By the time we got there, she didn't have pillows. Like her plants were bare. Like stuff was flying out.
Oh no!
we were obviously not capable of. We're younger. Well, I'm old enough to drive, obviously, but
oh no, plants are bare, no cushions, no couch. No.
Yeah, we didn't really get the art of securing it down. But,
yeah, you kind of learn that one the hard way sometimes.
yeah.
Just like sometimes the hard way we learn that we do have to be mindful of our spending and money and off camera. Drew, you were talking about just the different ways that we can help people with that, with some of our departments and stuff. Do you want to let's go on a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think that would be our discussion for today for our listeners and our viewers. We wanted to highlight today when we were thinking, what should we talk about in this podcast episode? Really some of the services we do offer, the products we do have, and just in my way, I want to not to try to sell anything. I don't want this podcast to just be a marketing. We're trying to sell products, but our focus is really that we can help our members. And so we wanted to really highlight some of the things that we do here at the credit union, some things we offer, the product services, to help our members, to make their lives easier. I don't know. How would you answer that question? If what do you think is most important to our members when it comes to their banking, or, what do they desire most? Just to get to me is ease. I just want this to be easy.
Easy access, I think, with the online banking.
Yeah, and I think each person honestly is different in what they want in a financial institution. So I think depending on if you're a person who likes to bank or if you're introverted and you never want to leave the house, we have those opportunities for people, and it really is about finding your financial wellness journey, no matter what you like in terms of banking, and you want to be around people and you want to interact, we have that. And if you don't, we have that. We have banking for introverts.
I have a funny story. I love that. Yeah. Banking for introverts and extroverts. So we have some members that come in, and as you may have guessed, I love to talk. So I'll chat them up, no problem. And then we have some that don't really like to talk. Well, there's this one, and I don't know, I'm trying to talk, her ear off, and she was like, yeah. And then I noticed the next day she used not the next day, but the next week it was she used the night drop, and I thought, perhaps I should not talk so much. Yeah, hint.
But yeah, we do have both types of members. We have people that maybe we never see, and that's great. But we have people that come in almost daily, maybe weekly. And, we love that too. Everyone has a different preference. From my perspective, from my end, I love it when people come in. That's makes my day to be able to sit with someone and have a conversation, and that's enjoyable for me. So I do really enjoy the members that do come in, and we can chat them up, maybe sometimes too much, but that's a great part of being here at the credit union. The members that come in and will sit down with us, have a cup of coffee.
As much as I like to be around people, I've been carrying around my expense check from maybe not even last month, it might be the month before. So I think I need to use our remote check deposit. It's so simple and can literally take a picture of it, but I'm always I'm going to sign this and bring this in. And I work at the credit union, and I don't know what's wrong with me. And I saw it in there the other day, and it's just sitting in there going, I don't know how many days you have to cash me, but please cash me soon.
There's a limit.
I do like that remote remote capture deposit, right?
That's the official title of it.
Remote deposit capture. One of those. Yeah. But I remember the first time I did it, it really blew my mind. Maybe I'm a simpleton. I don't know, but I remember I can deposit I could deposit a check online. I take a picture of it and it's just in my account. That was that was something, you know.
Pretty
I
epic.
mean, I think so. And now it's commonplace, you know. If you're not able to do that, it's like what?
It's like what?
But when I first was able to deposit through my phone by taking a picture, I was pretty impressed. Like, how do they know? How do they know that I'm not going to bring this check in and try to like cash it or deposit it, you know? Or how do they know like I wouldn't go somewhere else, you know? And
How do they know?
Well.
yeah, we got our listeners thinking like, wait, I can do that? No.
Actually, no. There's a department that will check that. But,
Yes.
yeah.
We do have procedures that you have to write on the back of the check for remote deposit only. So for our listeners, if you're not doing that, you might need to do that.
Yeah, because it won't go through.
We will send it back if you don't put for remote deposit only and your account number. And that's kind of a security that, you know, you have something on the check that you're doing this. And yeah, so that's part of the procedure, sort of like prevent some of that.
And that can protect the person that is cashing or depositing the check, because somebody else could somehow get that check, like if they dropped it,
Yeah.
somebody takes their purse or wallet or whatever, and they could, you know, then cash it or remote deposit it themselves, but they won't know your account number. So yeah, it can be.
So much of our procedures are, you know, to protect our members too. I believe, you know. I mean,
Well, and the other thing I was thinking about for who we have or who we are is we have all different departments that can meet the needs, from business banking to mortgage, consumer lending, deposits, savings, IRAs. I mean, we have different people that are experts in different areas and can really help you achieve whatever dream it is that you want at all stages of life. And I think that is really key to financial institutions, is being able to guide people no matter where they are. And as small as we are big enough to be able to provide those services to our members, our community. And that's exciting.
It is, absolutely.
And
I
really
opened my first CD ever, and
You
I
did?
didn't even know, like, I'd heard of CDs, and I was like, I don't get what it is. I thought it was like those, back in the day, you'd get those checks that, certificates,
like
what are
a
they called?
savings bond?
Yes, thank you,
Yeah,
savings bond,
yeah.
yeah. And so that's what I thought it was, but then Cindy, our loan officer here, explained to me what it was and how it can work and why it's really cool and beneficial, and I opened one, and I'm excited now. Cause,
Where did you get the money to put in there?
well, you see, I sold my house 2 years ago.
can we go a little further in depth in this? Because I think this is great for our listeners, because I think some people maybe have money sitting in a savings or a checking, you know, a sizable balance maybe, or maybe even not, but they don't know what to do with it. I think that's pretty common. Like, how can I best use this money that I'm not using or that's just sitting there? And for our listeners, like, to open a CD is a great option. You know, there are a number of options, but CDs, you're going to earn a lot more interest on your money. Like, if it's sitting in a savings account or a checking account, you know, you're not earning a whole lot of interest. You're better off like putting it in a CD. Now that does sort of like tie your money up for a period of time, but you can withdraw it early at like a small penalty, and that penalty is really, you know, sort of minimal. But you know, if you don't need it, if you're not going to use it right away, and you're listening right now and you have money, like, check out one of our CDs. We have like a few real good options, short-term, long-term, to fit your needs. Great rates right now. This is a great time to do a CD. You'll earn a lot more interest on your money, and it's free money. Just have your money sitting there.
Yeah, I never thought I would be able to invest that, but I was lucky enough to sell my house, and then I guess I had a lot of people tell me, a lot of friends tell me, don't just, you got to invest it somewhere, do something with it so that it kind of helps secure your future. Or that could also be that little buffering savings account that you can use in a few months. And even if you don't have a lot of money, you can kind of get there. I had a friend who was so frugal. He only shopped at the discount parts of the grocery stores around here, like Super One, Jubilee, things like that. He would just Walmart, very minimalist, and and he was doing that to pay off a medical bill. And then he did so well that he had enough money to. I mean, it was an amazing story that I just was like, wow, I want to be able to do that someday. And
developed a habit.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that is a really good story too, because when you're working and life is going okay, you're able to maybe spend a little bit more, and maybe you're a little bit more frivolous. But if you go through a tough time, you have a family member that contributes to your financial success, and they lose their job or get laid off, it doesn't take long to lose the little bit of savings that you have. So there's not a lot of cushion there for sometimes when you go through that, or if somebody gets hurt and they're unable to work. So I think having it invested into something where you can save that money for a rainy day.
Yeah.
Because life can be a roller coaster, ups and downs. Life is like a box of chocolates.
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes with my accounts, it's like I feel like I'm doing well, and then I like overspend, and then I'm like, I'm not doing well. It's like sort of back and forth.
Yeah.
So
and I have to like pull the reins in a little bit.
Yeah. We have a Wincentive savings account, and I put money in there each check for me and my daughter, and I don't touch that because you can take it out once a year. I think it's kind of that same
birthday
thing
month, or no, the month that you opened it.
Yeah, and so I haven't touched that and seen that grow. And then there's also an opportunity for each $25 you invest up to 4 times a month that you get entered into a drawing to win money for savings. So you can win up to $5,000. We actually had a member win $5,000, but it could be $25, $100, $500, $1,000. And we've had members win $500, $1,000. We always have $25 and $100 winner. And so it's just a really great incentivizing way to save and then to have that money.
Right back. Something about a Wincentive I got to open. 5,000 would be so, even 100 or 25, any little bit helps,
Yeah, for people who want to start saving, I would definitely recommend like a Wincentive account. If you're someone that, I need someone to lock this money up for me so I don't spend it type at it, a Wincentive is great because, you really should only withdraw like once a year. Again, you could withdraw other times, but there's a penalty. It's meant to be like once a year you can take that money out. So it's a great, incentive to save your money, but then you can also win money, as Melissa was saying.
Yeah, so it's very like cool. Kind of a win-win.
A win-win-win.
Yeah, and you can, help you just budget even to see, all right, I know that once a month I'm going to put $100 into this account, and then that can, when you get used to that, then you can be like, okay, there's $100 that's going here, so I know I don't have $100 to spend here, and here, or you know what I mean. I don't even know if that made any sense, but I hope it did.
It does. I think that's one thing we've mentioned previously on another podcast, one of our two, is that we do have financial counseling available for people, and I had mentioned that Drew also has a financial counseling certificate, and so we also partner with LSS Financial Services, and I think Jessie talked about that before, but I think just talking about our products and services, having that person that can help guide you to that savings, in if you can't do $100, like can you set aside a little bit each month to get there? And so that's another service we provide for our members, and you get 6 free sessions a year. So each year you get, and I've used that myself, and I had a dog that ended up passing away, but 3 years ago we needed emergency surgery for her, and I used a credit card to pay for that surgery because I just really wanted her to be there and longer, and she did. She lived for another 3 years, but paying off that debt and trying to get that to a point, like what that did to your credit score and your overall wellness and well-being, like how do I manage that? And I wasn't really sure how to manage that. So I was able to have that conversation, and it's confidential. And had I not told you guys today, no one knows you have that somebody that's a listening ear, they can put together a plan for you and they can put it into perspective. That's really helpful in those situations. And that's kind of life in, and not in a nutshell, I don't, but sometimes things happen and you're not prepared, and how you prepare it. And I find that I react on emotion. Do you guys do that often? Like, okay, I'm
guilty.
you know, yeah. It's like, I want
Yep.
save everybody.
Yeah. And I think, having, like, you go to a doctor because they specialize in something, a dentist specializes in something, and a financial counselor specializes in, so you might think, why can't I save money? And they might be able to see what you can't see, and guide you to your financial wellness because they know how to do it. They've been trained how to help you. So it's very, 6 free sessions a year I think is astronomical for anyone who, even if you are pretty well set or just starting out, it's a great way to set yourself up for success.
That was my thought, is that I think this counseling is beneficial for anyone. It's not that you need to be in a desperate situation or, I went through it just because I was like, I want to be better about saving. And I want to talk to like an expert about like how I can be better, just like little tips or tricks I can, save better. But we refer a lot of people, who do have like a lot of credit card debt, or feel like they're kind of drowning in that. That's where LSS really shines as well, to help people in those situations. So, if you're a listener in that spot, not sure what to do, looking for some help, like LSS, we can, help you get connected with them. Again, that's where they're excellent. But they're so beneficial in so many ways.
Drew is in the mirror. I need help today. And then he's the financial counselor. So
then he answers himself. Here's what you need to do.
That's me every morning.
Yeah.
I laugh because it's too close to home.
So
go ahead.
Red.
You're so cute.
He's fluffy.
It's the sunburn from golfing yesterday.
Golf? What do you really have in that mug?
That was
Alka-Seltzer in my coffee. No. Too far, Drew. Too far.
Because you like the fizzles so much. That's
Can we get carbonated coffee?
Yeah.
I suppose that's kind of a thing. Yeah.
They call that bubbler, I think. I was going to say, if you had to give an overview of our, some of our highlights of what you can, what kind of products and services that we provide, and you were just to kind of bullet them. Like,
I think it's good to think of like our departments, right?
Okay.
We have our business banking, a great department. So much of that is free, and I don't know if that's always the case. Our loan department, so many of the calls I get, people are really just like wondering about rates. I feel like rates is just, like CD rates, loan rates. So we do a lot of that, a lot of loans, helping people out there. So that's another department. And then just like your general day-to-day, like MSR, member service representative, teller, cashing, depositing, those are all things that, we're here just to, hopefully make that process, quick, easy, and get you what you need. I always just like to think like we're on the same team here. It's not like me against my bank. It's like we're just wanting to help you manage your money, so that you don't have to like keep it in a box in your house. And like we can have ATMs for you in a whole different state, that you can have access to your money, so you don't need to like these services are ideally meant like so that we can help you, and we are on the same team here.
Okay,
But and did I miss any?
I'll bring my box of money in.
Yeah.
And then I bring my check in. No,
Yeah.
I think that's
finally bring my check in.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good overview of the departments. I think a lot of what we do is who we are and the people that serve you, and I think that they find solutions for you no matter what. I had a situation where there was fraud with a relative that they were dealing with some scam. Well, it was like a scam fraud. And I reached out to Lizzie, who is in like a consumer manager, and she was able to help me connect with the Minnesota Department of Commerce. It was a senior person, and being able to connect with them to get some help to to rectify the situation and to find some guidance on what to do with that. And it would really hit home, and I'm like, who can I talk to? 8 o'clock, it was 8 o'clock at night, and I reached out to her, and she has so much knowledge, and that's all of our staff. Like, they are on your side, and they want to protect your interests, and they want what's best for you. And I think that's really a part of who we are, and that's part of why I love the credit union. And I'm not because I'm in marketing. Like, I'm not trying to be all selly, but it's true and genuine.
Yeah, I open a lot of accounts, for people, which is just, a real neat opportunity and privilege. And I genuinely, every time I open an account, I can't help but tell the member, I'm really glad that you came here, and I really truly believe you won't be disappointed. Oh. And I really believe that. Like, I know, our tellers and our MSRs and our departments, I really do believe we do a good job. And so every person that comes here and opens an account, I can't help, like I said, just like we're happy to have you as a member, and I don't think you'll be disappointed.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there are.
And I always say, I'm a little biased, of course, because I work here, but
But damn,
we do a good job. We do a good job.
We're pretty much rock stars.
Yeah, which we are. Can we get a little bit of the?
Yeah. All right, listeners and viewers.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Missy. Melissa?
If you missed our last episode, was it our last? It was one of the episodes with the Vibraslap. Jessie is a Vibraslap expert, and she's the lead singer of her band. Lead singer, former backup singer, former saxophone player, coming to you.
Yes,
we are truly and literally rock stars.
The Vibraslap might make an appearance in many episodes, so we hope you enjoy that.
Next week it'll be the slide whistle.
We're so glad that you joined us, and you can visit our website at any time to find out our products or services and stop into any of our branch locations. Those are all listed. It's just so fun to welcome everyone to the podcast and to the credit union. Next week, we're going to talk about a community kindness campaign that we're kicking off, and we're really excited about. You'll have an opportunity to spread kindness this summer and be rewarded for it.
And that, folks, is a wrap.
Vibraslap. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll be here all week. No.
Yeah. Plenty more where that came from.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right.
Love you guys.
See ya. Bye.
Okay.
All right.
Ready?
All right.
Love hair. Just kidding.
I feel,
it would be so funny if you had someone come in and they're like,
we just
Oh my
light grooming before we get started.
Tune in Fridays for new episodes on Spotify, YouTube, and coming soon to Apple. Or find the link on our website, northstarcreditunion.org.